Right, we're recording intro starting in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Bloody Good Horror, covering the best and worst of the horror genre since Halloween 2007. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 332 of Bloody Good Horror. My name's Eric, and I'll be your host for this evening, where we will be discussing not Poltergeist. That movie's better. We're going to be talking about Poltergeist, the remake, with Naria Craig T. Nelson in sight.
There wasn't any cameos in this, was there?
No, there should have been.
I need Coach.
Joe Beth Williams, her little football jersey there. Anyway, I'm the editor-in-chief over at bloodygoodhorror.com. Joining me tonight, first up, he is a master of the web. His name is Mark.
Hi.
Websites.
Yeah. I know how they work, but
Search
I'm not telling
engines.
anybody because then I'd be out of a job.
Next up on the show, he knows how the dark web works, which I'm learning more about now that I'm watching season 2 of House of Cards. And they reveal that hacker guy to be the dude from Always Sunny, and I was like, come on.
All of the dark
Come
webs
on.
are belonging to us.
His name is John Schnars.
Hello.
He's watching you through your webcam right now. Stop touching yourself.
I have literally a million little tiny windows on my laptop, and I just fucking scan them constantly. It's
It's like Sliver, but worse.
He would like you to know. He would like you to know that your parents got divorced because you touch yourself, and he can see you.
I wasn't gonna go there, but that's probably true.
Next up on the show, he drinks beer. He lives in Chicago. He's salty. His name is Joe.
I do like salt.
You're more saucy than salty, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the difference would be,
Like
but
to spice things up. Salty is, I'm more salty, right, Mark? Like I'm just angry and salty all the time. Joe's more
Yeah.
just like zesty to steal.
Joe eats a lot of
To,
sausage.
to
There's a lot of
steal
salt. It's
Schnarz's
true.
description of the old lady assassins from last week's Mad Max episodes.
Wait,
Very
what,
good.
were they saucy or were they salty?
You called them zesty,
Oh,
like a fine Dorito.
they
Ooh.
were zesty.
Similar,
Like a deadly Dorito.
similarly dusty.
I'm
do
glad
like
I said
nachos.
that because I agree.
And last up tonight, joining us, he has glasses. His name is Casey.
Hello. Yes, that's the most interesting thing about me.
Sorry, my wife distracted me as I was about to come up with the world's best intro for Casey, so not
The
gonna
story of
happen.
my life.
Hey Joe,
Yes, sir.
what news do you have for us about Mark's life?
Well, I am pretty excited to announce that Mark has decided to make me the happiest man on earth and agreed to marry his girlfriend so that I could have a bachelor party.
Oh yeah.
That's right. See, Mark, and you didn't want Joe to say that news.
I believe I was
Or
the
Joe
one who
didn't want
requested
Joe
it
to say that.
specifically.
Yeah.
Joe, and in very Joe fashion, once we made the announcement on our Twitter feed, Joe went off on a couple different tangents with people about how it was the best day of his life, and he's really looking forward to it.
I
He's very
did
excited.
like that I got almost as many congratulations as Mark did.
So congratulations, Mark, to getting gay married to a lady.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Lady with a dude's name, no less.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Joe. I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously.
Thank
I really
you,
just want to offer
John.
my congratulations to Joe.
So what's the bachelor party? You gonna have one in Chicago and then have one here? You're gonna do one?
I'm going to start now, and then it'll end right before you. I think that's what.
Before you go on your bachelor party, I'm gonna suggest that you go ahead and get different internet. Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I can't hear a
Wow.
word you're saying.
Why don't you buy him internet for his wedding present, Eric?
Yeah. How
Here
about
it
that?
is. Here's the internet.
How about that?
I mean, you're in a major metropolitan area. You should not have trouble getting internet.
Man, only you would derail this discussion to an internet.
No, I
speed
literally
discussion.
can't hear what you're saying. That's why it's derailed.
Yeah, it's
It
gotten pretty
did.
bad.
It
Yeah.
got a little.
It's
got a little
it's
dicey.
worse now, Mark. You made it worse.
It's worse now.
Yeah,
You
oh, it's
can't hear
way
me?
worse.
Well,
Now you
my
sound
God.
great.
Now you sound
now
like
you're
you're.
using internet for two.
Now you sound like you're wearing a fish tank over your head.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm not fucking with you.
God damn it.
I'm
God
being
guys are
100%
taking a joke
dead
from Joe.
serious.
But Joe, tell us about
Joe,
this
what do you have
bachelor party.
what do you have planned for Mark's bachelor party since you guys are besties?
You know, I really I don't care what we do. Like I don't need strip clubs or I just need to get drunk somewhere
Yeah.
for, a weekend.
Like my bachelor party where we got drunk in the woods.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
You know what? That was a really good call too, because I figured this is all my friends were starting to have kids. I'm like, this is the last time we're all gonna be able to hang out together. And guess what? It was.
Yeah, that was a great idea until Sunday morning, where John and I had a 4-hour ride home on
Yeah.
2 hours of sleep, and John immediately went to sleep the moment.
Oh,
we got-
Joe, we're definitely turning this into a road trip. So you're gonna have to do
Oh,
that
yeah.
again.
Yeah, I've got some ideas. Don't worry.
New York City bachelor party?
Mark, I
don't
can
know.
hear you now.
You can?
Yes.
You sound
Well,
amazing.
maybe my excitement just like shorted out my mic.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It was like a poltergeist that came out of your, body and into your microphone.
I have both of my hands on my computer screen, feeling the burn right now,
Just
feeling
a
the
zesty poltergeist.
feeling the ghost shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm very excited. We're gonna run out of life milestones pretty soon because I'm pretty sure. Joe, were you married when you started on the show?
Was I? No. Yes. Yeah, I think I already was.
I think so.
But you were not with child yet.
No.
And,
You guys might remember episode 137 where we birthed the child during the show. That's a classic.
Is that
if you
actually
guys wanna
true?
Pick that one up.
But when we started the show, John was not married, Eric was not married, Joe was not with child.
Mark,
as
why don't
stated,
you
so-
keep telling people about how fucking old we are?
I mean, I'm just saying.
It's great.
Casey, meanwhile, has been married, and I think at the time had a 6-year-old.
Yeah, it's not like a. How long have we been doing this?
7 years.
Yeah, so
35 years.
she's probably 8 years old when we started. She's 15 now, so.
Oh, wow. I thought she was
Yeah.
only 13. Yikes.
We
No,
initially
we're-
did this.
Sophomore year of high school.
We initially did the show over IRC. Fun fact.
Yeah.
ASL.
14-4.
Ooh,
Guys, spoiler alert, GIFs are cool again. They're back.
oh, they're the best. When did
were
they go away?
Not cool. Yeah.
Oh, they're the
Oh,
They
best.
were
tells
all
me.
the rage in the late 90s when they were like barbed wire and like flames, and then they went away for a while.
Right.
and now
I
they-
see. I don't even consider those the same thing. Like those were the eggs, and the now it's like fully formed type of entertainment,
they
I
turned
consider
into-
him real man. That was my childhood.
like a
Yeah.
skull with eyes that light up red.
Oh,
I'm sure
evil
we-
inside.
I'm sure.
instead
Listen,
of,
this is how old the actual like brand of Bloody Good Horror is. Our first website had all those.
Under construction.
we may or may
more.
not have been part of a web ring.
Oh, many
Ooh.
web
Oh,
rings.
hell yeah. You had to be part of a web ring. It was like you didn't exist if you weren't part of a web ring.
Anyway, rest assured, we have been hiring some young people to teach us about what kids do these days. So don't worry, we're staying cool, you guys. No worries.
Yeah.
All right, we went to
So
the
this
movie.
time next year I'll be married.
Great. This time next year, that's pretty fast.
And Joe will have been drunk one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. God
We're,
will.
we're counting on Joe for a nice, lovely dinner. He's already said he's good for it. We can't wait.
Oof. Oh, yeah, that is true. Yeah, we did talk about it.
Were you drunk when you promised? Did you already forget?
I think it was at like 8:30 in the morning. No, I love a good dinner.
I love a good dinner. All right, guys. We went to the movies this weekend to see the Poltergeist remake. Mark, did you know this? Directed by one Mr. Gil Keenan, who also directed Monster House,
Oh my God!
the favorite ever movie guide.
I heard they solved problems without prayer in that movie.
I heard a house eats a child.
They were okay with that.
Yeah. So trailers. I want to talk trailers. I finally saw a full trailer, not just a weird teaser for this found footage thing. Casey, you knew the name, right?
The Gallows.
The Gallows, right? It looks pretty teenagery, but I don't know. I think I might be kind of in. It looks like the type of found footage that I tend to enjoy.
Eric, I think you just need to come to grips with the fact that you like teenager things.
I like found footage.
Was that the one that's in the high school? Is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Found footages just happen to have teenagers in them because they have their movie camera phones on them all the time.
I don't know. I think this one they like actually brought like a real camera, but
Guys, I
For
just want
no
I
good
just want to
reason.
tell you guys that I saw on the highway this weekend. I saw someone with a selfie stick sticking out of their sunroof.
That's fucking awesome.
Jesus.
That person's living the life. Baller.
Yeah, yeah. I was just waiting for their phone to get like fucking ripped off into the highway.
Hashtag baller. I always like when you read a story about how somebody died from a drunk driving accident and like 5 minutes earlier, they're like, oh my God, I'm so drunk. LOL. I'm probably going to die. Actually, just happened like 2 weeks ago. I read a story like
You
that.
like that? That's what you like?
I also got a new Jurassic Park trailer, like a full-on trailer. Oh, and it was introduced by Chris Pratt. Did you guys get this? This was a Regal theater. It was like a
Wait,
special
he was
thing.
in your theater?
Yes.
He came in
Before the
handed it
trailers,
off.
it was totally like the beginning of the fourth kind. Like the lights come up on him in a virtual studio, and he was singing some weird, stupid song, and then he looks at the camera and he's like, "Oh, hi, you're here," like one of those.
Weird.
And then he introduced like a special first look from Regal Entertainment, and then there was like an extended 3-minute trailer or something about it. I mean, Sam Neill. Where's Sam Neill?
He's
They
not
brought back.
working.
You know who they brought back? The fucking scientist guy. After he clearly fucked up the first time.
Where was Newman? That's what I want to know.
Well,
He's dead. He's
he
dead.
dies, doesn't
No, did he?
He's
Wait,
dead as
Yeah,
fuck.
that's
But
Didn't he get
Sam
eaten by that
I meant the actor.
Sam Jackson's still around. What the fuck? No, Wayne Knight got bariatric surgery and like lost a ton of weight, and he looks weird now.
So okay, even better. He's like a new character. Perfect.
Would you say that he's a new man?
Ah, I get it.
Man,
Zinger.
I want to watch Jurassic Park. I just, you know what? I get it. That looks fun, but I feel like they could have just done better.
Oh, dude, it's got BD Wong in it. I am on board. I take it all back.
That's
he was
racist.
apparently BD Wong was in the original.
Yeah, isn't he the scientist?
What? I guess so. I don't know. I know
He's
him
the
from
one-
Law and Order. That's all I know.
Yeah, yes, he's the guy who like when they're doing the tour, he explains all the dinosaur-y stuff.
Who the fuck is BD1?
Oh yeah. He's that scientist. Okay.
Wait,
I
is
definitely-
he Asian?
yeah.
He's Frank's
No.
assistant in
my
Father
God.
Bride 1 and 2.
Oh my God, he
That
is.
is also accurate.
Oh my God, he
That's
is.
accurate.
I would not have
That's-
known him by name though.
Yeah,
John.
well,
Yeah.
he's Law and Order Special Victims Unit. He's a mainstay. If you've seen that, version.
All right.
I have.
Yeah. He even gets his own storylines in Law and Order. I mean,
I don't know how I feel about
He's
that.
the real deal.
I never
I like-
liked those episodes. Like, I think the appeal of Law and Order is it's such like forgetless. Like you just don't. It's gone like
Yeah,
a fart in the wind
it's-
when it's over. I don't
No,
like
you-
when shit gets real with the characters because that's not why I'm here.
No, you're totally right. It's a procedural, and that's why SVU will always be a subpar.
I never
No,
watched
no.
it because it was too rapey for me. I didn't really care for it. Apparently,
Unlike-
just the right amount of
unlike
rapiness
all
for you,
the-
Schnars.
I was gonna say, unlike all those horror movies you watch, which are totally
John, every
Right.
single horror movie is not about rape. Every episode of SVU is.
Oh,
He's got
there's
you there.
some,
That
there's
is
some
true.
that are just about
They
molestation.
found semen in the victim's ear canal.
All right, we should move on.
Anybody else get any trailers, new, old, or in between?
Pixel? Or
Oh, okay, yes.
We're not talking about this.
Listen, guys,
Just move forward.
I saw there's an extended trailer, a new trailer out for Pixel, and I gotta go see it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, like if you take Adam Sandler and fucking other dude out of that movie, it looks fucking amazing.
Yeah,
and
I
and
agree.
fucking Dinklage is in it. I gotta go see this, you guys.
Good old P Dink.
Like I saw more of the like them in the video game world stuff. Like it just is. It
It's
looks
amazing to me how
awesome.
earnest the build-up is. Like they
Yeah.
build it up. It's this like really serious.
Honestly, the earnestness
Yeah.
is kind of what's getting me.
Well, the Peter Dinklage piece is the piece that I'm kind of in for.
Yeah, like he's got a mullet. Why is he in jail? I don't know.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are.
When they bring him out and he's like in shackles and stuff, but he's got a mullet.
I
it's-
guarantee you there's going to be a moment like my favorite action movie cliche where they read off people's names and what they're known for and what their nicknames are and stuff while you see them
Ooh.
walking in slow-mo.
That part where Pac-Man bites off the creator's hand,
Pretty good.
I laugh every time.
I kind of hope they squeeze in a Billy Mitchell cameo.
Ooh.
my
yeah.
point.
I mean, they have to, right?
That's what I keep waiting for.
Yeah.
I'm 100% on board with you there.
Here's
All right,
my
Joe, you
contra
wanna
for
go with
that
me?
Trailer, though.
I kind of do.
All right, let's do it.
Casey.
I was going to say my quandary with that trailer is, though, I cannot decide yet if I like Josh Gad or not.
I think I do.
I do.
He's been
Yeah.
in some shitty movies, but I think with the right material, he can be funny.
He's
See,
on-
I've been trying to watch the comedians with him and Billy Crystal, and it's all right, but it's
Billy
missing
Crystal
something.
is
I don't
not
know.
funny. That's where you're going wrong for starters.
Oh, he was funny at one point.
Right.
Yeah, well,
In my childhood, at least.
Right.
yeah.
Princess of the Bride. He's got
I-
3 lines. Pretty funny there. Princess Bride, not of the bride.
Princess. I think you were
That's
mixing up Father of the Bride and the Princess Bride.
Oh, Father of the Bride. Those are great movies.
I will not be seeing Pixel, just like as an FYI for, you guys
think you
mainly.
What
It
about
looks-
Aloha? You guys gonna go see Aloha? That movie looks good.
What's Aloha?
Kind of want to see that too.
Yeah,
the
Joe,
new,
that's all right. We do too.
What's his name? The guy who did Almost Famous and
Brad Pitt.
Fast Times at Ridgemont.
Keep going. I don't know.
I got the trailer for the new Paper Towns. Aren't you guys excited?
I don't know what that is either.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, what? I got nothing but like horror movies for the most
Yeah.
part.
I
I
got a
did
bunch of
see
shit.
Crimson. I saw Crimson Peak for the first time. That was the first
Oh
time.
yeah, I'm
And,
interested.
I'm pretty into that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm gonna have to start toning down my excitement level because, Lord knows.
Great cast in that movie.
Although it looks almost exactly like what was that movie he did with Guy Ritchie where they were in like a haunted house?
Yeah, and that was bad. It was Don't Be Afraid of the Dark or something.
Yeah,
That wasn't him though. He didn't direct
I
that.
thought he directed that.
No, I think he only produced it.
He had his name on it.
I saw a trailer for the Maze Runner sequel, which
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
looks like some hot young adult bullshit to me.
I kind of thought that movie looked amazing. I don't know.
The first one was actually
Did
not
you mean
bad.
it was hot? It was
Yeah.
hot bullshit with young adults, or it was
Yes.
hot young adults but also bullshit?
Well, it depends on your interpretation. I
I'm
just like
gonna go with both.
you can spot these fucking trailers from a mile away, like within 10 seconds of them starting, of some teenager who finds out they're like the magical one in this universe they don't know about.
Well, what I don't understand is how
This is a little more Hunger Gamesy.
Well, the Hunger Games, I read the books and they are not good, and I don't understand how those books got popular, and then this Maze Runner, which actually looks. I mean, maybe the movies just look cool. I have no idea. Maybe the books are terrible.
I kind of want to see it. Just
like, what-
I kind of want to
Who
know.
determines which is like the popular one and which one just loads the garbage?
Well, John,
out?
I think that this is a good opportunity to bring up the story about how Joe read 1.5 Hunger Games books before he realized they were for ladies,
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
or whatever.
just for
Okay,
ladies.
they're not,
The
maybe they're not just for
They're for
ladies,
kids.
but
The first one
I read 'em
isn't
all.
very like romantic. It isn't until like the second one where they get into like, oh, which one do I pick?
Yeah.
And then the third one is just.
Joe's like, "What am I
unreadable.
reading?"
Yep.
To whom do I give my pin?
Yeah.
See, that was like around like Twilight time too, so Joe thought he was being safe by going with Hunger Games.
Yeah. I don't even know where I got it from.
The only safe thing is just not to
Yeah.
read, Joe.
But like the first one,
It just
isn't-
like showed up on your nightstand.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I guess I'll read this.
Ugh.
Those books just make me angry, so thanks for bringing that up for me.
Yeah.
The
They're
third
bad
one
enough.
is just.
Yeah.
It's awful. Like.
As Joe led to, I mean, you end up with the main girl who's running around, can't make up her fucking mind over
Yeah.
anything, and people are dying. It's like, goddamn, woman.
And I'm generally the guy who, if I
She's a child.
You know how women be shopping.
like if I put effort into reading a book, I'll probably like it just because I put that time into it. And the third Hunger Games book was,
Did you read the whole thing?
yeah.
Wow,
yeah,
look at
it
this
was-
guy.
It was difficult.
So you soldiered on.
Well, I got to see how it ends.
Did she make the right choice? I don't even know what the choice is.
Guys, I think we just need to end the Hunger Games podcast and move forward here at this point.
I don't know, John. I don't know. All right.
I don't know
just-
if you spoil Mockingjay Part 1 for me, I will be pissed.
Oh, did you not read it?
No, I did. Sorry.
Are those movies any good? I can't get past the like just ridiculous facial hair.
No, they're terrible.
Not really.
No, they're not good.
How's Woody Harrelson? He looks real dumb.
He's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's Woody
He's
Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson.
How do we? One last question. How do we feel about the new True Detective? I keep getting the
amazing.
trailers on my HBO stuff.
I'm purposely avoiding the trailer because I don't know. I got
Guys,
I
in
hope we get
First,
some more
listen, I
weird,
can't imagine it lives up to the first one because that
No.
shit was
what
insane.
universe is it not good? I really would love to know. How
Honestly,
those
I'm just
have to
not
be
getting
at
anything
least
from the
as-
trailer that seems that interesting to me.
yeah.
All right.
Vince
I
Vaughn.
just hope we
isn't-
stick with the elder horror stuff that's wrapped in there like in the first one.
No, that's definitely not happening. I think they're going a completely different direction.
I don't think
And I'm
Vince
okay with
Vaughn is good at things.
I do like him. I feel like he could be good at things, but he's lazy. Do you get that vibe about him?
I don't know. I could do without him.
He's like,
at
fuck
this
it, I'll
listen-
be in this movie or I'm a Google intern. Who gives a shit?
Guys, all I'm saying is when this is awesome, I don't want to hear you trying to jump on the bandwagon because I'm telling you it's going to be fucking awesome right now.
John is locking down the bandwagon.
Yes.
No one's getting on.
No.
Did you go to the Mets game today, Jim?
I did go. I went to the Mets Phillies, yeah.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
You know.
You burnt?
I did not get sunburnt, so that was...
Should we very briefly talk about this fantasy movie box office league that we're in?
Oof.
Which, by the way, if you want to feel like a friggin' nerd, try telling somebody about that.
I actually
Also,
did
if you
not
want to
sign
feel
up
like you have a PhD, complete that actual thing and make it through all that. It's like the world's worst.
It was
fucking
so
website.
confusing, yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
John,
Very
I think it did
confused.
actually add you into our league. So
Well,
I think it
I
did.
made it into the league, but I didn't get in early enough to pick movies for this weekend.
Listen, I
Yeah,
need you guys to
yeah, I
all
got
go
the
in
same
and change your names, too, because I'm the only one that did.
That's not true. My name is Nipples and Dicks.
Yeah.
Mine is Eric BGH is a motherfucker.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that you put
Yes.
that in. I thought that was someone else that named their team.
No, I was just thinking about that video of that old guy in the bus that screamed, "I am a motherfucker," and how great that was. So that's where that came from. Joe, right?
Oh, no, wait.
Right?
Like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I am a
Oh,
motherfucker.
Christ.
Joe, what are we drinking tonight while we review Poltergeist?
Jesus, that came out of left field. So, the Poltergeist remake, about a family that moves into a shitty little house in the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois. And actually, I don't know if they actually say it's the Chicago suburbs. They just say it's the Illinois suburbs. But in honor of that, I picked a beer from one of my favorite breweries from the beautiful suburbs in Illinois, Solemn Oath Brewery out in Naperville, Illinois. And this is their Yarn Bomb, which is perfect for this time of year. It is a Hefeweizen,
Ooh.
which, you
Is
know.
it heifer? That doesn't sound right.
Hefeweizen? I don't know. How does anybody else? How does anybody else say?
Heffa.
Heifer?
I don't think there's an R in it.
Did I say heifer? Like
Yes,
a
like a
like a like a cow?
yeah.
Hefeweizen, which is a German style beer. A lot of yeast notes up in there. Banana and clove, sort of the traditional style. But this one has a little bit of a hop kick to it, which gives it like almost like a grapefruit and like pineapple flavor. Really blends well. I'm a big fan of this one. Solemn Oath just puts out great beers. I have not had the chance to get out to the brewery, but I think Mark and I keep discussing planning a trip because they put out some really awesome stuff. One of my favorite beers that I've discovered since I moved out to this area.
Bachelor party.
There you go.
Oh shit.
Comes in at about 5.8% alcohol. So, not super high, but enough to make you happy if you want to get there. And yeah, SolemnOathBrewery.com is their website. And by all means, check them out.
Nice. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
I was right near Omegang's headquarters yesterday,
Oof.
but I had to go visit family.
We never actually made it out there.
They're amazing.
Yeah, I like their stuff, but they don't really put out beers that I'm going to sit down and like drink.
I can't drink any of it anyway now. So
Yeah.
I have settled on Red Bridge as my gluten-free beer of choice.
I saw somebody suggested a Tweezon.
Yeah, I got to try to find it. I've never seen it in the wild.
It's pretty good. I
It's
think
Dogfish Head.
Yeah, it's pretty readily available.
Yeah.
Probably if you go down to was that Glenville Beverage, I'm sure they'd have it there.
Yeah, do you want to give out my address too? All right. Cool. All right, guys. Let's take a quick break and discuss Poltergeist.
I've Gotham's reckoning. Here to end the borrowed time you've all been living on.
Pure evil.
I'm necessary evil.
Hi, this is Dana Roebuck from Everything You've Ever Seen on Television, and you're listening to Bloody Good Horror.
This is it, Senator. Your big breaking TV. From the prime time, bitch. Main feature.
We're back. It's that time again, ladies and gentlemen, to review a movie, which is ostensibly what we do here.
Yeah.
ostensibly.
We've gone 25 minutes without doing it.
Speaking of words with a bunch of syllables in them, John, please bring us the word of the day. What do you got for us today, John? What's that fancy book learning degree doing for you today?
I think you're going to be excited. Today's word is poltergeist.
Oh, wow.
Boo this man.
Don't stretch yourself too hard there, buddy.
There's like a 70% chance I've done this before, but I figured what the hell. A ghost or other supernatural being supposedly responsible for physical disturbances such as loud noises and objects thrown around. The interesting piece is that it comes directly from the German. There's a word poltern, meaning create a disturbance, and Geist, which means ghost. And you just slam those two words together, as the Germans are wont to do, and you end up with poltergeist.
It certainly seems like a German word in that it is rather severe.
John, by that definition, do you think that Joe is a poltern?
I think that is completely accurate to describe him that way.
I don't know what that means.
John, why don't you accurately describe this movie for us?
Show. For the 5 listeners who have never seen the original film Poltergeist, 1982, right? I think it was 82.
We just gotta. John, there could be a lot of people who haven't seen it.
That's fair. Okay.
We
All right.
old.
Well, we're gonna pretend like this is new, and we'll go from there. So. We've got a family, the Bowens, that is Eric and Amy, and then their 3 children, Kendra, Griffin, and Madison, or Maddie. And they're moving into a new town somewhere in Illinois. I don't know, Joe, did you say where in Illinois?
No, I don't think they actually say. Although, at one point he says he worked for Deere, which
he worked for
doesn't
John Deere somewhere.
matter because I think their headquarters are in not Illinois.
So, with that as background, they're moving into a new town, and they are hard. They're a little hard on their luck. Eric, the dad, has lost his job. The mom is sort of like a stay-at-home mom / writer. She could work, but she's been trying to write a novel or write a book, and so she's been staying at home. So there's no income coming in, and because of that, they basically have to move into a new house. So they're somewhat sort of downsizing or just kind of moving into a place that's a little bit more affordable on the budget, while the dad looks for a new job. They've apparently seen a bunch of houses, but we arrive with them at this new place they're looking at. It's in a sort of subdivision. And it's really affordable. It's right in their budget, and it's not perfect, but apparently they've seen a bunch of stuff. So they move in, and almost immediately there's some ghost type stuff happening. One might even say poltergeisty things. Yeah, it's a spooky house.
Spooky behaviors.
Yeah. And a lot of them are sort of centered around the kids. So you got Griffin, who's sort of like the youngest kid. He's probably like 6 or 7.
Guys, quick poll. How do we feel about the name Griffin for a child? Are you an asshole if you name a kid Griffin?
Nah.
It's kind of. It is kind of cool because it's like a mythical beast, but also Griffin.
I'm gonna let it go. I had a friend whose last name was Griffin, and we called him Griff, and I thought that was
okay. That's cool.
Yeah,
we've got 2 Griffins in our family, so I gotta support it.
Are they children or adults though? Because I always try to picture like this person's an adult. Do I respect them? And I'm not sure. Right, so that's fine because it's like, oh, it's cute. His name's Griffin.
I
like,
believe
if
they
Griffin's
refer to
your
that
boss,
as
are you like, hello, Mr. Griffin? What do you want me to do for you?
I believe they refer to that as the Cody rule.
The Cody rule, yeah, the boss test, yes.
I like that Eric refers to his boss by Mr. and then first.
Mr. Griffin.
Mr. Cody Griffin, I do
Sup,
not respect
Griff?
you.
So, all right, getting back to the plot here.
That's the least important thing going on right now.
Madison. So Griffin's not the youngest, but he's sort of like the main character of the movie. He's like the son who's, like I said, 7, maybe 8. I don't know. You guys tell me. Casey, we're going to look at you to kind of define the children's ages here.
I'm going to say he's, sure. How many years is that in Griffin years?
And then Madison. So Madison is the youngest, and she's like 4, I think, or maybe.
No, she's 6. They
She's
said
actually
she's 6.
16, I think.
Jesus Christ! So how old is Griffin? He's like 7 or 8.
35.
Probably like 8 or 9. I think they said he was 9.
Not a day over 18.
He's
I'm glad
actually-
we're focusing on the important details of this
He's
movie.
Yes.
Eric's boss. So
So he's got to be at least 11.
yeah.
That is a hell of a commute.
Okay. So Madison is she like immediately when they move into this house starts like talking to the walls. She's talking to this closet in her room. The closet in her room, they can't get the door to open, even though it's like these sliding doors or whatever they're called, accordion doors. And no one thinks this is strange, so they just, whatever. They let her
Just
go.
give up. Fuck it.
And I mean, things just quickly deteriorate to the point where Madison is basically abducted by the house, and then the family has to get her back. And to do that, they enlist Dr. Powell, who is a university sort of academic, and then 2 of her sort of cronies, who are kind of like, TAs or whatever, research assistants. And then eventually Kerrigan Burke, a.k.a. Jared Harris, who many of you will recognize from Mad Men. Yeah, and they come in and they, more or less exorcise the demons. Well, they don't actually exorcise the demons. They really just try to get Madison back, and yeah.
I was really feeling the absence of Tangina in this movie.
Yeah.
I feel like she was kind of the glue that held those Poltergeist movies together.
Walk into the light, Carol Ann.
But was she in the first one? I couldn't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She just happened to get weirder as time went on, so you don't really remember her from the first one as
Well,
much.
that's what I was going to say. I think she was like kind of a normal human in the first one.
And
then
now she's dead.
Well, all right. Don't make me feel bad about it.
I don't feel bad. That's on you.
So, yeah, I guess I should have mentioned the dad is played by Sam Rockwell. Probably the most...
Great cast in this movie.
Yeah, really solid cast across the board, but it's otherwise a pretty small cast. I mean, there's probably only 7 actors. There's a scene...
I don't know,
where they
Griffin
go to
was
a dinner
pretty
party.
tall.
What?
Nothing.
All right. There's a scene where they go to a dinner party, but otherwise it's mainly this main family. You've got the sort of 3 academic research folks and then Kerrigan Burke. And that's really it. I mean, it takes place almost entirely within the house. And there's some effects, but otherwise, yeah, pretty straightforward.
The mother was on Mad Men.
Yeah, Rosemary DeWitt is also from Mad Men, yes.
She was what's his face? Is Don Draper there? His lover in season 1.
You
Lover.
gotta be more
Lover.
specific.
Yeah. His city lover.
He's bedded many a lover.
Oh, she's kind of like a hippie, right?
She's an artist, and yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Just saw her in a movie called Your Sister's Sister, if anyone's seen that.
No, I've not.
With
Alright.
Tia and Tamara.
So that-
Yeah,
I have
that's
seen
right. Oh, Roger.
So there's actually 2 Mad Men actors in this movie, counting British guy.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah.
It all comes back to Mad Men, I guess.
Mark,
So
let's
recommendations?
Mark, let's see if your connection is working. What do you think of this movie? Oh God!
Hilarious.
I made that noise in my mouth. Get it? So I saw this movie at 10:30 a.m. on a Sunday in 3D, which is a sentence I thought I would never say, and I didn't hate it. I think Eric mentioned this over email, but I feel like this movie benefits from lowered expectations. I thought it was going to be terrible, and I actually thought it was pretty decent. I think the cast was great. It is not a shot-for-shot remake, but it's pretpretty goddamn close. Like a lot of the
It definitely hits all the
iconic-
same beats.
Well, and a lot of the scene,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like the deep scene. They rehash. So, as a movie divorced from the original, I think this is way better. As a remake, it's okay, but ultimately, it's better than most of the supernatural movies we watch.
Joe.
Yeah, I'm along the same lines as Mark. Like I didn't dislike this. I don't know if they really did much to distance themselves from the original. So I don't know if there's, would be an argument to see this one over the original. I mean, like I said, I did kind of enjoy the you get to parts where they obviously go in after not Carol Ann, whatever the hell the girl's name is in this one.
Madison.
Yeah, and they kind of explore that a little more than they did in the original. I'm guessing just because of the technology that they were using at the time. Like, there's obviously a lot of CG in this.
Yeah, they couldn't make like a million ghosty
like
hands.
A hallway of ghosts. So I mean that stuff was pretty cool. I liked using the what the fuck was that? The drone as a tool to kind of fly around. I thought that was kind of interesting. So overall, I didn't dislike this. I wasn't a giant fan, but I guess it was better than probably expectations were set at. That doesn't make any sense. But I think, we kind of alluded to it. I think the cast really is what made this bearable. I think with a shittier cast, it would have been unwatchable. But, Sam Rockwell, he's good at everything. So
He is good at everything. You're right. Casey.
I am right along the same lines with everybody. I expected to hate this movie because the original is one of my all-time favorite movies, especially horror movies. I expected to hate this, but I can't say I hated it. I was mildly entertained. I think it was you made out the point that in our emails discussing this beforehand, if this movie wasn't called Poltergeist, if it was called something like, Spooky TV Ghost, it would have been a lot better.
Sort of.
Because
If it wasn't, though, I think I would have voted against us seeing it because I would have been like, we've seen this movie 40 times.
I mean, if it were called Spooky TV Goes, that maybe is a reach. I don't know.
I'd be all over that.
But yeah, I think the cast was great. It felt like a condensed version of the original. It felt like the Cliff Notes version to me for some reason. It felt like they went into everything a lot quicker.
Real fast,
It was
yeah.
a lot more condensed, and there was a lot less to it. But it still worked for what it was. I mean, I would say this was, if it didn't have the Poltergeist name, this would be a decent direct-to-video movie.
It's funny because
Glowing recommendation from Casey.
you like set it up and then just fucking. It's funny because it does go really quick into it, like the plot, they accelerate right into the movie, but then it also really explains everything. Like, I didn't remember how much of the backstory, like the sort of, obviously there's the like we built the house on top of a graveyard, but the like how that works with the sort of like metaphysical world or like the sort like I couldn't remember if that stuff was mostly from the original or if it kind of came in later in the sequels with the whole.
Well, I'll tell you what though, because they make a change in this movie that I actually think completely destroys the logic of the entire concept.
Wait, do you mean when the people can wear GPS devices into the whatever crazy world and then we can still track them?
John, I'm talking about ghost logic.
Oh, okay.
Okay. In the original movie, it's an Indian burial ground. So the bodies are there. Well, I guess it really doesn't make sense there either. Here's my question. So let's take this movie. They move the bodies, but theoretically, if your soul would like pass into the afterlife as you die, right? So then all these people should already be in heaven or hell or wherever they're going. Just because you move the bodies, what the fuck does that matter? They should have already
they didn't move the bodies.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter though.
Alert, guys.
But it doesn't matter. The person should have already like gone on to their wherever their pasture is.
It's
right?
a fair point. Like how long?
They've already gone through the light. Is my point. The whole fucking point of the movie is to get them to the light. They're already there.
How long do you have to be in the ground before you can go through? To
Some of them look like they had been there for like decades.
No, well, I think it's a cemetery, right? Like, of course, some of them had. No, so
we need to get a bullshit ghost investigator to help us through this.
just to really quickly round us out here. I came away not hating this, and now the more that we're talking about it, the more I'm like really starting to kind of dislike it, or not. I don't want to say hate it because everything you guys said I agree with. I actually really liked all the cast. I thought the acting was pretty top notch. Griffin, for as much heat as he's taking in this podcast, I thought he was really good, and he's asked to carry a lot of scenes. And
I didn't think either of the kids were annoying, which I think.
No,
I actually thought they were fine, and there's a lot of kid shit, so that's good.
No,
that's so
exactly.
weird because I thought Eric was gonna hate Griffin. Like,
No.
hate it.
He seemed kind of
I mean,
cool.
he hated his
You know what?
name,
He's
but-
real sad though. So sad.
Well,
I was like,
yeah,
well,
but
look,
that's dude.
It's
That's
gonna be
hard.
all right, buddy.
You gotta like get the kid, and you gotta be like, listen, you're sad now.
But
and
I
then-
think that's a testament to like how good of an actor he is. Is I really felt his melancholy.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I actually think all of the even the kids who are a big part of this movie did a great job.
John, I think
But-
Griffin hit a little close to home to my own childhood. Maybe that's what it was.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
You were the middle child, so
that's true.
there you go.
That's true.
I don't know, but there's just a lot of nonsense that goes on, and I mean, Eric just called out one that I hadn't even thought of, and now I'm like, oh Jesus. But
That calls into question the original concept too, right? Like,
yeah, it
Well,
does.
I mean,
But
at least
here-
with the like Indian burial ground thing, you can just be like, well, we kind of really fucked the Indians up, so,
So-
they have a reason to be pissed.
Let me ask you guys another question that kind of colors how I felt about it. Like, I felt that this was aggressively setting itself up to be a franchise.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you guys get that? Okay.
Yeah, I
I mean,
guess I
is
could
that
see
already
that.
is
I
that
didn't
already
really pick
announced?
up on that. No.
Well, because there's a little thing in the credits too. But
I
but
didn't
really,
even
we're
see
gonna
that.
have that. We're gonna have that now, and we're gonna have fucking Lin Shaye, Vampire Hunter, or whatever. Like, what the fuck, man?
Well, I
This-
just mean because Kerrigan Burke, like
We're also gonna have Bagul.
that
God.
that Jared Harris character, when he goes into the house, like we don't find out what happens to him unless that was in the credits. I did not stay and watch the credits, so you guys tell me. But
It's
you
in
do
the credits.
you do find out, and it is setting it up,
Okay.
jeez.
or at
so-
least it leaves it open. Let's say.
yeah. I was trying to remember who the hell is the guy with the hat in the sequels.
The
Like,
guy
isn't
with the
there-
hat was basically just he's another like spirit, but they kind of use him. I don't even remember if he. At some point, the actor died. They changed actors, but he's basically
Yeah,
the
he died after
personification of like the spirits in the other world.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
the
Well,
boogeyman, basically.
I've seen all of them, but it's probably been 10 years since I last saw the original Poltergeist, and it's been like at least 15
I
years.
seem to
since
remember
I
he's
saw
just
the
kind of
second.
like the leader of the spirits that are after her.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe that because the Kerrigan Burke character wears that same hat, like it's that same kind of.
Yeah,
like,
they don't really. There's no equivalent to that guy in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Those
well,
are
stay
those
tuned for
sequels.
Poltergeist too.
If they make sequels off of this current version, I don't see them going the same way as the original sequels because they got weird.
Yeah, I mean the second one's good. I think they're both really good. I have actually something.
Laura
I've,
Flynn Boyle is in the third one apparently.
yeah,
She-
no, it's listen. The third one is really interesting, and we can talk about it later. But it's actually decent. It's bad, but it's good.
All right.
I have something I bought on VHS that's called like Poltergeist something, but I've never heard of it, so I don't know if it's like a TV show thing or what it is. Here's my beef with this movie, John. I got beef. Let me tell you about it.
I love when you have beef.
As a movie, you sit down, 90 minutes, in and out, it's not terrible. It's got a really likable cast. The director is totally competent. It's got some kind of fun little visuals here and there. I saw it in 3D. The 3D was totally decent, surprisingly. But, like, again, it's just the Bagul thing and the Lin Shaye fucking Ghost Hunter. I don't care. Why? I hate these movies, John, so much. And it's not that there's anything particularly wrong with them. It's that we have been forced to watch them for like 8 years now. And the podcast has only been going for 7.
I don't know
so
why you got to
figure
pull
that
me
out.
into this. Just you know.
I
hate
just
these movies in
so
peace.
here's the point. Here's why like Mad Max was so awesome because you just don't see shit like that done that well and that insane. You know what I mean? I couldn't tell you at any given point in Mad Max what was going to happen next. And my problem with these movies is that the best that they could possibly do with and I don't even care that it's a remake because that's not even my problem. It's more that the subject matter is a remake of everything that's coming out now.
Yeah.
You know, from the second this movie starts, regardless of if they throw you a couple of curveballs here and there, you know exactly where this movie is going. You know all the beats it's going to hit, and it hits every single one of them.
Well, if they were going to have done this and done it sort of successfully and have it been like an interesting movie, they would have had to do it. I mean, like what 4 years ago? I mean, to have to your point,
but
have it
even
be
but I think
relevant.
farther back than that. But
Yeah.
I think the larger point is like people. Maybe this is a problem unique to people like us who force ourselves to watch everything that comes out. A lot of people, I would assume, listen to this show and then watch like 1 out of every 4 movies, or maybe if they think it, you know what I mean? So they've listened to us talk about this shit for years, but we've seen every one, you guys, every goddamn one. And at some point, I just can't take it anymore. I was like getting antsy in my seat when the whole section where the kids see the thing, but the parents don't believe the kids see the thing, and then you're just waiting for the thing to do the thing, and it's like,
yeah, this. I mean, the
because
thing about
I can't.
Poltergeist, and
How
this
many times
comes-
can we watch this?
But this comes like the thing that I'll say for this. Now that I'm gonna play the role of defending this movie a little bit, I did appreciate that it gets over all that nonsense very quickly. Like the parents
It
not
does move
believing
fast.
what's going on. That shit's done in like 10 minutes because the daughter
Yeah.
is in the wall, and it immediately jumps to like.
look, my
all right, crazy
beef,
shit's
my
happening
beef
now.
with this movie has absolutely nothing to do with this movie. It is totally competent. It's well made. I actually like by the end enjoyed it, and I think I said over email, I think this would actually be a really good normie movie. I think your average person who just watches like a couple horror movies a year would probably be like, creeped out by this and enjoy it. If you have a date you want to watch a horror movie with, male or female, I think this is a good choice. So
How did you guys feel about the humor relative to the
pretty funny.
original?
I laughed. I don't remember the first one being funny.
That's what
It was light, well, not lighthearted, but
Yeah.
it wasn't super serious.
This
First
one
one was
seemed
more
a little
whimsical.
This seemed wackier for some reason to me than the original.
Well, you know what? It's Sam Rockwell's character. He plays him real wacky, which is fine. It's good. It's like a unique thing, but
Well, and do we want to talk a little bit about the original? Because I was trying to explain this to someone about how it feels like if you watch it now with like a critical eye, it
still
feels kind of
good.
uneven. I mean, it is really good, but
it
the
takes a
whole
long time to get moving.
Well, because didn't they fucking take Toby Hooper off that thing? Like,
Yeah, but
halfway
I
through the
don't-
movie?
I'll be honest with you, because I've seen a lot of Hooper stuff, and obviously we've all seen a lot of Spielberg stuff. I don't get any Toby Hooper in any of that movie. I feel all Steven Spielberg up in that
No,
piece.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like that, but like,
But I
that's
think-
my point is like that movie has this like super kind of weird legacy to it, where it's definitely like I don't know, pantheon, but it's a pretty highly regarded horror movie. But it's also one with like a really choppy production history and
I'll tell you what, it's what you're talking about though, the tone. Like I like it specifically because it's got that childlike Spielberg thing. It's got that vibe of E.T. and Jaws, and like you're looking at it's very lighthearted and like a childlike, like innocent, I guess is the way I would describe it, but also pretty scary, and that's why I like it. I honestly have seen it so many times I don't even really end up thinking about the production history that much anymore. It's not like AI. Like AI, you can clearly almost tell which scenes Spielberg and Kubrick did. You know what I mean?
No, I that's fair, but I do think that it's still I mean, it's not flawed. Like in a lot of ways, like this movie actually, the remake tries to correct for some of the stuff by just throwing out a lot of the, I don't know,
it's real depressing on some note. Like there's a whole lot about how the family has no money, and Sam Rockwell kind of
it gets kind of stressful.
Sam
like
Rockwell
that.
don't really have his shit together, guys. If he's my dad, I'm not feeling very good about it.
Well, he's still
Sam
buying
Rockwell was-
phones and stuff.
With his credit card that's about to be maxed out, Joe.
Yeah.
Hey Casey, is drinking liquor out of a coffee cup a parent thing that I don't understand?
Yeah. Yes.
No, I was struck by that too. It made me wonder if I should be drinking my liquor out of a coffee cup.
That's when you just don't give a F anymore. I think that's what they were trying to say with that
I don't know
scene.
what it was. It just seemed like they highlighted that they always drank it out of a coffee cup.
My favorite part was in that one scene, though, the first time they do it, then the kid barges in while they're trying to do it, and then he's like, you got to come look at my room, and then the dad, like, he stops and makes sure to take his coffee cup full of liquor with him, like, I'm going to need this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to go 2 minutes without my liquor
Yeah,
coffee.
oh, this fucking kid and his stupid name. Whatever. Griffin's
Anybody
fine. I
else
like
get
Griffin.
pick up that Sam Rockwell played the dad far more angrier than Craig T. Nelson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it had more teeth to it for sure. Was Craig T. Nelson out of work though? I don't remember that.
I don't
part.
remember that.
He was a realtor, I think, and he was. I don't think he was out of work, but he got brought in to sell houses in that subdivision, and he bought one of them himself.
Yeah, I don't.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
This is a
And I mean, like, that
post-recession movie.
storyline, like, I found, like, stressful. Like, he's out there and, like, he can't fucking buy squirrel traps and stuff. Like,
I
yeah,
know,
no,
that sucks.
I like I said, that part was dark.
You can't buy a squirrel trap. That's really rock bottom.
Come on.
They never
I
did
seem to-
explain though how he got all the presents for his kids.
I think he just like
No, he found that one credit card that still had money on it,
and he
then
kind of
just went to town.
and said, "Fuck
So
it."
fuck it.
Kids,
Because that's
kids
why
be-
that scene is really like not cool. Because then he comes home with all this shit, and you're like, "Oh, dude, what are you doing, man?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff all falls away really quickly though.
It does. Like they even set up, "Oh, he might have a job." Nope, the kid's in the tree. We got to go take care of that. So
Yeah.
Don't you think they would? I mean, they freaked out when
Yeah, geez.
they got home, but don't you should have freaked out more that their child was hanging from a fucking tree when they got home?
yeah, and then it had
They were like, oh,
hands.
that's-
Like
yeah,
if
they were
my-
like, "Oh, that's weird. We got to go figure that out."
Oh.
my
Like,
trees had
what the fuck
hands.
is
I
that?
might look into that.
There he goes again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mr. Tree Hands.
we knew that tree had something going on.
Yeah.
Eric, did you want to talk about the 3D a little bit? Did the rest of you guys see it in 3D, or was it just Eric and I?
I'll be honest, because it's funny because I was just ranting last week about how I would never go see 3D, but I figured Mad Max is a work of art that is going to look exactly the way the director intentioned in 2D. It's going to be bright. I want to see that. But this movie, I to give you an idea, I just got off a 5-day vacation, and I literally waited until 4 hours ago to go see this movie because I just didn't want to go see it. So I figured, fuck it, I'll get the 3D. Maybe it'll be distracting or whatever. And it's pretty decent. Best looking house establishment shots I've ever seen. They always throw like a tree in the foreground, and you're like, I'm sitting in this
There
tree
was a
right
lot
now.
of depth of field stuff, and then they did the drill scene was pretty great in 3D. That was like, I mean,
See, in 2D, it was so garbagey because you were like, wow,
Yeah.
they shot this so intentionally for
It
3D.
honestly looked to me like they used the cameras. Like it looked that good in some scenes.
yeah.
They use what cameras?
Well, because there's a difference between
Oh, you
shooting in
mean
3D and then post doing it.
Yo, when that clown jumped at you and shit, that was scary.
Yeah, that clown, that was kind of ruined by the trailer, but there's more to it that was kind of cool.
Yeah, but those clowns, like another
Clown was-
thing that was kind of set up and just
Oh, yeah.
doesn't really go anywhere.
They never explained it because he even says, like, whoa, where'd all these clowns come from?
Yeah.
Was that
Maybe
more
that'll be in
explained
the
in the
sequel.
original?
No, the kid
Yes.
the kid just had a clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his clown.
Yeah,
It wasn't
right,
a
not
box of
just-
clowns.
That's
It
the-
wasn't a found clown.
So that's the funny thing too,
Clown.
is there's another subplot that kind of gets like, I guess I don't know. The kid, our buddy Griffin, is kind of a weirdo,
homie.
and he's quiet and he's very jumpy as they describe it, and they're kind of talking about, do we need to send him to like a therapist or something? But so they have a kid that already is kind of afraid of everything, and they put him in a nightmare room. Just this, I, as a grown ass man, would not sleep in this fucking room if you gave me.
I
this
don't want
room
to sleep with
in.
Fullery. What's the bed?
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's trees banging against the windows, and it's all like exposed wood, and there's a creepy sink in the corner for no reason, and like clown dolls falling out of the wall. It is horrendous. This room.
Apartment.
He's like, Mom, I don't want to, and they're like, suck it up, you little bitch.
Stop being such a pussy, kid.
Sleep under this window that's gonna wake you up every day at 4 a.m.
Right, exactly. It's just so there's a lot of that. There's a lot of really dumb decisions by characters in the movie, just really terrible decisions, just horror movie decisions to the nth degree all the way through. That's it was kind of annoying after a while, to be honest. But
I just wanted them to wrap up the piggy corn storyline.
I know.
right,
That gets a little, they tie that up a little bit.
Piggy
Oh, they
corn.
could have done so much more with piggy corn.
I will be honest. This movie was very, very forgettable. By the time we get to the end of the year, I'm probably going to be able to remember nothing about this movie except Sam Rockwell drinking liquor out of a coffee cup. It's
Yeah,
going to be
you're gonna
one
remember
weird
Piggy
thing like
Corn.
that and nothing about the plot. I guarantee it.
Piggy corn, never forget.
It's just so
I was gonna
forgettable.
say, come on.
The special
Yeah.
effects were cool. I thought the hallway with the people was cool. Like, the other world effects were pretty great, pretty creepy.
You know what was? I mean, but like
I couldn't
feel
tell
like just
if they were underwater or not, which is weird.
the sort of corporeal shit, like the hand coming up from the dirt under the basement, was just so much better to me than the like corpse tunnel.
Yeah.
Corpse tunnel.
Although I didn't like, so we'll get in. This is not super spoiler territory, but if you've seen the original, I like the way they set up the whole. Your subdivision's built on a buried Indian, or old Indian burial ground, because they were digging this pool in the backyard and everything. So then, when all the shit starts to hit the fan at the end of the movie, and you start seeing the corpses from the cemetery and stuff in the original coming out, it's coming out because of where they've been digging the pool and everything. In this one, there is no pool subplot. There's just corpses start showing up from the middle of the yard.
Yeah,
which I like. The other one is more effective because I thought it was pretty cool. Because then plus they fell down in the pool and they couldn't get out because it was all wet and muddy and stuff, and they were clawing at them.
Those were real skeletons too.
Yep.
In this movie though, I don't actually remember seeing them in real life. Do they pop out for realsies at the end? I didn't see that.
Yeah, they do towards the end, and there's like one quick shot when out in the front yard where a crack opens up and they come out.
Interesting.
And there's only one of them that pops out. That like sits up like a haunted house, and then they move on.
Yeah, anybody have an idea how this did? I'm actually mostly curious. My fantasy box office league.
It did not do well.
Damn it! I had it in 2 slots, like an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the week that everyone was like, well, it's a Pitch Perfect last week, and now I want to see Mad Max.
Yep, those were words you just said, but I have no idea what they were. Sorry, Mark.
I got it.
Pitch Perfect, Mad Max.
Got it. See, that was fine. So I have trouble mustering an F to give about this movie. That's all I feel. I don't really hate it, but it's just kind of a wet fart.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell is pretty good though. He's pretty likable dude.
No wrong.
He was the pizza guy in Ninja Turtles, the movie.
Casey Jones? No, that was what's his name?
Elias
Kino.
Codius.
It wasn't Kino.
Cateus.
Chris Kattan. He played Chris Kattan in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies.
That thing where he's a monkey.
Mr. Peepers.
I do not have anything else to say about this movie, guys.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think Movie Guide might have something to say about this.
Oh God.
I'm just gonna, when the beep happens, that means I'm done. Okay?
The beep, okay.
You ready? Very strong occult worldview with ghost spirits caught between dimensions and hauntings, none of which is answered in a biblical or Christian perspective.
It's true.
With light moral elements where a young boy learns to become courageous so he can save his sister, and a family fights to stay together. 10 obscenities, 1 use of effing, some of which comes from the children, and 9 profanities, strong paranormal violence, a clown doll, a young boy.
Stop. Wait, let your internet catch up. Stand by. 3, 2, 1. Now to go again.
Young girl abducted by spirits.
Nailed it.
Man pukes up a wormy ink in a quick vision.
Yep.
Right.
A tree grabs a young boy. Hundreds of corpses are seen in the other dimension. Paranormal expert has many battle scars, some of which are quite disturbing.
Sort of.
That's the worst. It's like
the spirits flip a car over and lots of scary images. Husband and wife kiss in bed and get ready to become intimate.
No dudes, though.
Oh, wait. But are interrupted. Plus multiple.
Movie guy hates blue balls.
Plus multiple sexual innuendos. No nudity, but woman in her underwear. Lots of drinking, but no drunkenness. No drug use or smoking, and no other immoral or objectionable content.
Yeah, I think it's important to point out in this comparing it to the original. Yeah. Well, it still fits. The big difference between this and the new one, there's no doobie smoking.
Yeah, what the hell? That was like the greatest scene in the first one, because I just like, it always makes me want to imagine that all parents in the 80s were just hanging out in their bedroom smoking doobies. And it wasn't a joint, like it's a doobie, just so everybody's clear. Yeah, it's a doobie.
Big difference.
Craig T. Nelson's got it, and it's in the 80s. It's a doobie.
It's a doobie.
Okay, thank you for that, Mark. I understood most of that.
That's great.
All right, guys, that's it for Poltergeist. Let's hope they never make another one. For now, we'll take a quick break and do some fan mail.
We're not going to do recommendations. We're just going
to... God damn it, Joe.
I mean, he's got a point.
Mark, do you recommend somebody watch this?
No.
Right. Casey.
Matinee.
In the theater.
Yes.
Bold choice, my friend. Joe.
I'd watch it on HBO.
John.
I'd watch it on basic cable.
I'm going to say no. Ain't nobody got time for that. Go watch a good movie. Let's take a quick break and do some fan mail.
The house looks just like the one next to it. And the one next to that. And the one next to that. A young couple live in it.
Give Ken a kiss.
You are so obnoxious.
With their 3 children. And something more.
They're here. Sweetie, remember last night? Do you remember when you woke up and you said we were here? Uh-huh. Well, who did you mean? Who's here?
TV people. Something's funny going on here next door. Something,
We were wondering if maybe you had experienced any disturbances lately.
What kind of disturbances?
Now Steven Spielberg crosses a frightening new threshold into a world within our own. Its form is revealed.
What is it?
Its focus is clear. And the games are over. Poltergeist. It knows what scares you.
Hi, this is Harvey Stevens, Damien from The Omen, and you're listening to Bloody Good Horror.
Send your emails to info@bloodygoodhorror.com or hit us up on Twitter at BGHorror with the hashtag AskBGH. And don't forget to pick up back episodes of the show at podcast.bloodygoodhorror.com.
And we are back. Poltergeist.
Cool.
More like Poopy Geist, am I right? I think this should be taking the opportunity to tell people to watch Poltergeist because it's the greatest movie with Geist in the title that's ever been made.
Yeah.
I like that the way that you say Poltergeist, it's totally indistinguishable from what you say Poltergeist.
Because it's the Poltergeist.
Wait, but like even better than the original Poltergeist?
Night of the Chicken Dead, John.
Okay.
That's the great... You can't come up with a better pun than that. No,
I don't
can't.
know. Yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
I can't.
What about a spoonerism?
I don't know what that means, Mark, so...
Oh, you're kidding. We just talked about it like 2 weeks ago.
Spoonerisms.
I don't listen when John talks.
You know, as Casey said, go jack off in your backyard.
Mark, speaking of jacking off in your backyard, what are people sending us? Oh, wait, no, we do email first, don't we?
Are we going to do
Oh,
recommendations?
man, speaking of blue balls.
Fucking
jeez.
A. I don't know what is happening tonight. All
Get
right.
with it.
First up, Miss Scapegoat. This was on Twitter. The guitar that Doof Warrior played is real and plays music. I should, by the way, mention that literally everything tonight is about how awesome Mad Max is. The guitar that Doof Warrior, which is apparently his name, played is real and plays music, no CGI. I thought you guys would like to know. We also looked it up, and like it shot fire out too, which is awesome. I was reading an interview with him where basically like he would just get to set really early. They'd make him up, and he would just sit there all day just playing metal riffs. It's awesome.
Pretty sweet. There's worse jobs to have, I guess.
Hey, remember how fucking awesome Mad Max was, you guys?
God, just the best.
I am cursing so much tonight. Why is that?
I wish you guys would just tone it down.
Next up, Mikey Jesus. Jesus, Mikey. Loved the review of Mad Max. One thing I found weird was how they implied that the women's booby milk was for consumption by everyone. Once, I got an accidental mouthful of that in a romantic encounter, and it was very unpleasant. unpleasant, in all caps, he writes. I guess in the apocalyptic future, it's fine because everything is fucking balls crazy anyway, but I spent the whole movie with that in the back of my head. I'm still holding out hope that you guys will review Zombievers. I want to hear what Joe has to say about it when he's drunk. I drink too. Let's all just have a drink and pretend you reviewed it. with ass, Mikey Jesus.
I drink too.
You know what?
Fair.
Don't ever change, Mikey. I'm just going to say that. Next up, Stefan. Sorry for the 2 emails. Oh, I don't know where this first one is, so no problem, buddy. I wrote the first one while I was listening to the Mad Max show, but then something else came to mind. Everyone in the Mad Max show kept talking about feminism like it was this men are inferior to women in philosophy. However, it is not. Feminism is, quote, a collection of movements and ideologies that share a common goal to define, establish, and achieve equal political, economic, cultural, personal, and social rights for women. The key word being equal, and equality is awesome. I also loved how you didn't give MRAs a time of day, because fuck MRAs. Thanks again for the funnies, Stevie D.
I hope we didn't misrepresent feminism.
I think that just we like to joke about it because I think we find the insecurity of the whole thing kind of funny. And also Cece's on the show, so then we can make jokes about how she's going to rule the wasteland, which actually, since
Some
she
of my
was
best friends are women.
Since she was the only one of us apparently that knows how to fix a car, she may actually be the ruler of the wasteland.
Oh, by God, she'd be running the Bloody Good Horror Wasteland. I mean, yeah.
Next up, Mad for Muff. Holy shit, you guys. Holy shit. I think I've just seen one of the best damn action films ever made. Mad Max Fury Road is a masterclass in action cinema and deserves to be applauded. So, and as always, your review was spot on. It just gets so much right. It gets on with the action without fucking about and has character development within the action itself. Holy shit, dude. Fucking commas and sentences. With some of the most thrilling set pieces put to film.
I'm okay with it.
You're
doing a great job.
I nearly pooped myself several times, and do you know what's most refreshing of all is that it isn't afraid to be R-rated. How George Miller pulled that one off, I'll never know. With the success of films like the Evil Dead remake, The Wolf of Wall Street, and Mad Max, do you think studios are finally beginning to realize there really is a market for R-rated films and not just the tweens market? We've had enough of PG-13 films. I think plenty of R-rated things still hit the theaters. It's just that when you have something that could teeter on the line, you know which way it's going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's
definitely
plenty
of our stuff, I feel like.
There's still stuff that comes out. I feel like, though, and it has been a little bit of a return over the last, say, 2 years. There was definitely a period there where we weren't seeing anything new that was R-rated. Put it that way. Like that wasn't a remake or wasn't based on some previous, content.
The other point we've made a lot, though, is like, I feel that a lot of this is left over from the late 90s, early 2000s when it was just horrible, the censorship. But you can just get away with so much with a PG-13. Just a lot of times, you couldn't even tell. I think.
Nah, it's true. You can straight do that.
You gotta do things.
Joe, this next part's for you.
Okay.
Lastly, guys, one of my favorite things on the BGH podcast is Joe getting into hysterics over his own jokes.
That's one of my favorite things, too.
If COD was one of us, has to be one particular highlight. I salute you, sir. Eric, you should do a YouTube mashup of Joe's hysterics. Take care, guys. Mad for Muff.
That was a fun evening.
I don't think anything beats Prepare Your Anus on the Joe freaking out on the
podcast. Man.
Yeah. Most of that was off air, though.
Yeah. Anytime I have to mute, I feel like things have gotten out of hand.
Yeah. That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
info@bloodygoodhorror.com is the place to send email addresses. Mark, you should start reading tweets, but somebody else like Joe maybe you should pull them up too, just in case.
God.
We're on Twitter @BG Horror with the hashtag AskBGH.
So
Mark's not on Twitter though; his internet's not fast enough.
So embarrassing.
You fucking are a web designer, Mark. What is this? Cannot be good for business.
Listen, man, it's just it's just a disgrace. Okay.
As long as you admit it, we're good.
I blame Comcast because Comcast is the fucking devil. First one, RJNC. Is Eric BGH really 5'3"?
Yeah, fuck you, RJNC. Of course, why would I say that if I'm not?
Yeah, it does not behoove a man to give his real height.
And as I said on the show, my license says 5'4", so you all go F yourselves.
All right, next one, Alan Murch. Someone can tell me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Favorite Studio Ghibli movie?
Ghibli. That's
also
like,
who,
Ponyo and...
Yeah, no, I'm familiar.
Yeah, Ponyo.
I just didn't know how to pronounce it. Also, who has that obnoxiously loud scroll wheel that's heard ratcheting away every episode?
Probably me.
Yeah. It's either Eric or me. I would say Spirited Away is my favorite.
Spirited Away is like one of the best movies ever made.
Just fucking magical.
Animated or not, it's incredible. It's magical and whimsical. And magically whimsical.
I don't think I've ever seen one of these movies.
It's
Princess Mononoke is pretty good too.
Yeah, I haven't. Go ahead, Mark.
I was gonna say, John, do you have a favorite?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I haven't seen Spirited Away in a long time. I actually saw Howl's Moving Castle in theaters, and
that shit's crazy.
Yeah, it was fucking wacky. What's the one where there's like, maybe it's Howl's Moving? I don't think it's Howl's Moving Castle. Where there's like a huge. It's basically like a huge ball of like garbage, basically that's like moving through the city and like collecting.
That's Spirited Away.
No, is it? Because I saw
Katamari Democracy.
No,
Democracy.
I don't think it's a Miyazaki.
That should be the name of that game.
Katamari Democracy.
I think it's Katamari Digimon-cracy.
Yeah.
Katamari Democracy. That's what you're thinking of?
But God, are you talking about the giant ball of filth that gets bathed and is no longer a giant ball of filth?
No, it's not a Miyazaki movie. I'm pretty sure it's another director who's kind of
Iron Giant.
Doing
Iron Giant's pretty good too.
Katamari Democracy, he says.
All right. I can't even concentrate with Joe talking.
Wasn't that a Guns N' Roses album?
Yeah. That was my favorite one.
All right, next one. You guys ready? This is a three-parter.
Okay.
It's from The Kill a Snap.
Oh boy.
Food for thought, and it's three either or choices. Number one, riff tracks or cinematic Titanic.
Riff tracks.
Yeah, riff tracks.
Neither.
I've never watched either.
All right.
Yeah, because you know what? I know it's a little thing, but it's not the same to me without the little silhouette of the robot.
You're goddamn right.
I don't like the person. I like the character.
Yep. Next one, Mark or Eric.
Oof. That's a tough one.
You guys can just say it. It's fine.
I'll take Mark just because of location.
Right. I got a lot to offer you guys.
I know. I feel like my stock is lowering tonight specifically.
Right.
That's
my internet's
true.
fucking great. I'm downloading like 10 videos right now. Streaming Netflix in the background.
I got Napster going.
LimeWire. Downloading some M3Ps.
M3Ps.
Yep.
Oh, I just saw a thing. All right. Next or last one, live music or film pre-screenings.
I'd go
live music.
Yeah.
Film pre-screening.
Really?
Yeah, I love that shit.
All right.
Only if I get like a press seat though, because that's the best.
Ooh.
I like feeling important.
Sure.
Because I'm
Joe
5'3".
and I got to see a pre-screening of what's it called? Human Centipede 2.
I know. I was back in the day when I could get an email like that and be like, you know who I want to torture with this? Joe.
Yeah.
Now he just says no.
What did we see too? Like Black Death or something?
Yeah, we saw a movie called Black Death. We saw that one.
I get weekly emails to screenings in both LA and New York, and we've just short of a tiny window when John would go, we've never really had anybody that would regularly go.
Yeah.
The only pre-screening I've ever seen for the podcast was The Alphabet Killer, which was the fucking worst. It was so bad.
And then there was a director Q&A afterwards.
Yeah.
Where people were mad at him.
Where people were mad at him because he made a movie about real-life murders and just made everything up.
Wasn't that Darren Lynn Bousman?
I don't know.
From Saw?
All I remember was that Eliza Dushku was in it.
She's great.
She's something. All right, next one is from
Digimon.
H. Pelletier 05.
Yep.
Do any of you watch reality paranormal TV shows? Hashtag best podcast. Hashtag M Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
You know what? They're the worst. They're unbearable. They're fucking offensively dumb. And this movie does a great job of skewering them.
I think this actually was a question trolling Eric for his
maybe they don't know. That's
well documented hatred. I love it. Good times.
I mean, it's just
My wife loves that shit.
I can't.
Never got into them.
The only ones I like to watch are the one with Zach Baggins, Scooby Doosh, and the gang because it's so stupid.
Joe, what if there was like some Real Housewives involved in the spookiness?
I was about to say if there was like a real Spooky Housewives of Spooky Town, I would watch the shit out of it.
They're missing out on the crossover potential there.
Yeah. There was one season where there was she was a witch of some sort in Beverly Hills. That's about as close.
Like Wiccan?
Wait, like that was like a multi-episode like
it was
arc?
she was she was only on for a season, but she was one of the Beverly Hills housewives. She also had a sex room for her husband.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh.
Maybe I should watch that show. I didn't
Joe,
know.
if people showed interest, would you want to do like a spin-off where you just talk about these, like review the episode every week or something?
You know, Evan, who's one of the writers, actually watches all of them as well. We've
Oh my God, we didn't even talk about Evan this week.
So,
oh yeah.
I don't know if we should get into it. That's private. That's personal.
All right, well, let's just say that Evan Sleed, who's one of the writers of Bloody Good Horror, is a fucking champ, and he earned all of the points this week.
Yeah.
And our new hobby is just telling him to do things when he's out in public, and then he does.
Oh, he's like our impressionable little brother. That makes me so happy. I've never had a little brother, so
it's true.
Mark's like, come here, let me punch you in the face.
yeah.
Although Evan was any of our little brothers.
Eric was right. That does feel great.
I'll do that thing Eric did to me in soccer, and if I kick the ball wrong, he'd chase me around the yard and slam me on the ground.
It's called negative reinforcement, and it's been proven to work.
In the case of my soccer shot, it did not work, but let's just pretend like it did. All right,
Okay.
moving on. Next one is from the Movie Pit.
Yeah.
We all know remakes are overdone, but is there any guilty pleasure film you'd like to see remade?
I'm just.
I think
Freaked.
There's nothing.
aren't we getting a Cube
yes.
remake at this point?
Mark nailed it.
Really?
Freaked.
Let's make Freaked.
Yeah.
Or Freaks. Actually, Freaks would be a really interesting remake,
man.
but that is like so far out of the.
They pretty much did that on American Horror Story.
Yeah,
that's true.
They
That's a
are
good point.
remaking Cube, which I rewatched recently because I bought it on VHS. That movie's fucking good.
Yeah, it is
great.
really good.
The acting is unbearable, but the movie itself is great.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what's
not
crazy? They could remake The Cell and cast Yellow in it, and she would look exactly the same.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
beautiful Latina princess.
Do we need to remind people that your wife is Puerto Rican?
I don't think that's offensive, even if my wife wasn't.
It's just creepy.
Well, I mean, my wife being
you know
Puerto
what?
Rican doesn't change that
You know
either.
what? Still creepy.
Yeah.
If Joe's okay with it, I think we let it.
Joe's creepy no matter what. I think that's what we can just land on.
Ay, rico.
Speaking of creepy, next one is from Flashing Them TDs.
There you go.
Best opening scene in any horror film.
You gotta go with the original Halloween.
Oh,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
there.
I think Scream's up there. Scream's pretty good.
I always liked also Texas Chainsaw Massacre too.
Yep.
The
Uh-huh.
call.
Yeah.
I have two meta choices. I think the opening of Cabin in the Woods is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I also like the opening of the Funny Games remake.
The English language one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen either of those. Should I watch those?
I've only seen the original one.
Oh, I've only seen the remake. So there
God.
you go.
What is Cabin in the Woods? Does it just start with the dudes in the office in the golf cart?
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, that's
exactly.
great.
Yeah.
It was. I think
I gotta
it was
watch
just-
that movie again.
It was great because you were expecting one thing from watching the trailer, and then there was this moment of like, am I even in the right movie when I saw it in the theater? That I just think was awesome.
I've had this problem with that movie like several times though in the last couple of years since we saw it, where I have this urge I want to throw it on as a background movie, and that works great for about 45 minutes because you got all this great dialogue, and then there's probably another 45 minutes of just straight up shrieking. Just screaming and yelling and like chainsaws, and it's just it's a weird like
That
dual
scene,
tone
that
thing.
when the shit hits the fan, that's a great like having the movie on. But if the volume is turned completely down and you're just watching things go like insane.
Also, that lady is on that show I'm watching on Netflix. There, that I talked
House
about
of
earlier.
Cards.
Yes, she's on that show.
Jesus, only brothers
Spit
can
it
figure
out.
that out.
Dude, I'm
Spit
having
it out.
wicked memory recall problems lately.
You should probably start drinking more.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's because of a lack of beer in your diet.
Maybe.
All right, next one. NKO Gonzo. Hey. Testing. Yep.
Still bad.
Yep.
Joe, what's the next one?
NKO Gonzo, who would win, Candyman or Brock Lesnar on the moon? Lesnar is in a spacesuit and bees can't survive.
Ooh.
It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
but Lesnar doesn't have gravity on his side.
That's true.
And Candyman has a fucking hook.
Yeah, right. So he could just hook into the moon to hold himself into place.
The moon has gravity. It's like 1/6 of Earth's gravity. So
For Christ's sakes, John.
Wouldn't the bees just float away with no air to like propel themselves?
Dude,
No,
don't you need air to fly?
they
How do
need
you
air to
not go
breathe
Candyman
that are,
here?
You know, do something.
He's got a fucking hook, guys.
Floaty bees.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Candyman.
go handyman for his
Handyman.
Candyman.
Candyman.
I'm gonna
For
go with
his,
Zeke the plumber.
Yeah,
For 5,000.
He's a handyman in his own way.
Vietnam vet.
All right,
vet.
I'll try the next one. How am I doing?
Yep, doing great.
Testing. Leighton Rocks. What remake that's highly unlikely would you love to see?
Ooh, this is a duplicate, but we'll take it anyway.
Damn it, Mark.
Can we say Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior?
Oh.
Is that highly unlikely, John?
No, it's pretty likely, probably. So,
All right.
never mind.
They
Well,
probably
no.
wouldn't do a Thunderdome.
These are
again.
straight up sequels, though. These aren't remakes, so I think we're going to see something new.
Oh, all right. Okay, fair point.
Simpsons did it.
If they
Kramer,
did like
Kramer versus Kramer.
like an Exorcist, like balls out, like shit scary, like the original, I think that
Like
could be
an-
pretty entertaining.
Like an Evil Dead style remake of
Yeah.
The Exorcist, where it's just
No,
fucking.
but like,
Wouldn't
come
be
on.
balls out, though. Like,
Yeah. Haven't
Like-
we also seen everything that could possibly be
Yeah,
done in
I
an
don't-
Exorcism movie?
I'm not with you on that one, Joe. Sorry.
Joe, do you
Seriously, don't you-
remember
but
The
you
Devil
don't think-
Inside? Come on.
You don't think that they can make a movie that was like as extreme as the Evil Dead remake, but was a ghost movie?
What about that movie where Tom Savini is a dude who jousts on motorcycles and he has a
Yeah,
piece?
Night Riders.
yeah,
That's
Night
what I meant.
Riders.
When I said exorcism, I meant Night Riders.
That's what I meant.
I meant Tom Savini in a speedo.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Nightbreed, so I guess we're all confused. All right,
Tom
next-
Savini and his codpiece are not in Nightbreed.
That movie.
Next one, our buddy the Hat. Remember the Hat?
Oh,
Yeah.
the head. Of course.
Well,
Philadelphia, good Philadelphia fan.
Yeah.
Will every person in the new Poltergeist tragically die?
God, I hope not.
Yeah.
If
We
I
didn't-
lose Sam Rockwell,
Listen, not everybody died from Poltergeist. Craig T. Nelson's doing just fine.
Well, and the
Yep.
mom, Joe Beth something, she's still kicking around too.
She's great. Yeah, there was let's see, you had
The kids died. That's the hard part. They
yeah,
all like,
the
Carol
first
Ann
one
died.
the first one who died was actually the one who plays the teenage daughter.
yeah.
She died like before the movie came out or something crazy. I'm gonna look this up right now. You
Let
guys
us
wa-
all just sit here and
You guys want to hear
wait
me
for you to
type
Google.
on my Macintosh SE30 keyboard?
yeah.
I thought that was a joke that you hooked that keyboard up.
Nope, I bought a $30 thing to put it up to my computer, and it's
Clickety.
amazing.
Clickety clack, clackety
amazing.
click.
It's like typing an email is almost orgasmic. It's so incredible.
Just so
It's
you
one of those
guys
things
know,
because you haven't used his keyboard in so long, you forget about it, and you just forget how amazing it was.
nothing says we take your
Hey.
complaints of noise seriously like buying an antagonistically loud keyboard.
But that's the first time I typed the whole episode. Dominique Dunn, the 22-year-old actress who played the big sister Dana Freeling in the first Poltergeist, died on November 4th, 1982, blah, 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 4 days after her boyfriend choked her into a coma from which she never awoke.
Good
Jesus.
God.
Weeks earlier,
All right,
Dunn
this is
had ended
terrible.
her abusive live-in relationship with Los Angeles chef John Sweeney. Blah, 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 blah. Heather O'Rourke, she died. So this I remember. She died, she had like some kind of congenital disease. She died of cardiac arrest, this says.
Yeah.
But it was like they hadn't finished the third film yet. But she died, and so they needed to reshoot the ending. And if you go back and watch the final scene of the third film, it's a body double. Like literally, they have Nancy Allen holding a girl who looks like her, but you never see her face. Because there's a whole thing where the boyfriend character in the movie, the actor couldn't make it to the reshoots, so even though he's still alive, he doesn't show up at the ending for the big like, hey, we're all okay scene. But the third one is highly recommended. It was directed by Gary Sherman, and it's set in this high rise where all the walls are covered in mirrors, and almost everything in the movie is like an in-camera trick. And he does all these incredible effects with like things on the other side and coming through, and like it's really, really cool. If you're like a effects geek, I highly recommend that movie.
Second one I remember scaring the shit out of me. That old guy?
Second one's creepy as hell, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, so the third thing, the other Poltergeist thing that happened was during the filming of the third one, there's a big action scene in this multi-car parking garage, and there was a huge explosion that almost killed like a bunch of stunt guys.
It really does sound like Eric saying Poltergeist every time he says Poltergeist.
God damn
Yeah.
But yeah, good times.
All right, we got a couple more.
I mean, there's a bunch of there's other people who died, but they were kind of just old. So
Still sad.
It happens.
God.
But it's not a curse. You're not cursed if you just die of old age.
It's the curse of age, Eric.
That's
it
true.
affects us all. Next one, Dybok Miller. Which is scarier, Poltergeist or angry male trolls uncertain of their manliness and white privilege?
For the second, by far, no contest.
Yeah.
Because those are real.
Well
That's right.
played, though. Well played.
Last one, Mary McDonnell. How does this compare to other horror remakes of the last few years?
Pretty favorably, if you're just stacking them up, quality-wise. I've seen much worse.
It lands solidly in the middle, I think, of horror remakes. It's not awesome, and it's not terrible.
Kind of like your connection right now.
Just don't go.
No, I think mine's on the shitty end. Mine's on the.
No, I think you're right. It's directly in the middle.
Mine's on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake of.
Oh, that movie was so bad. They're making
Wait,
a
you mean-
sequel to that, aren't they?
No, they made several sequels to the one that they made in like '96 or something.
No,
Yeah, but there was another remake
John,
in 2013.
Yeah, John,
Oh.
we saw that like last year.
Guys, hold on. I believe you're talking about a movie called Texas Chainsaw.
Right,
That's-
different continuum, different timeline.
Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Yeah, exactly. Slightly different, name.
That movie
Similar,
was
but different.
That movie was weird.
Yeah, it was fucking real
I
weird.
kind of want to watch it again.
I do not have any interest in that.
Do you think that's on VHS?
That lead girl's got devil eyes.
I like that's your filter now. It's like, is this movie available on VHS? There's no way that's available on VHS. It
kidding,
came out like a
John.
year and a half ago.
I'm joking.
All right,
My
good.
favorite thing is I've been
It's
buying
so
a lot
worked
of
up.
VHS that were movies released in the mid to late 90s, and every single one of those immediately starts off with a trailer about how you should buy this movie on DVD. It's really funny.
Yeah.
They're like, check out this hours of behind the scenes footage. Skip to any scene you want, John. Can you even imagine how
I
your
can't.
life would change?
I cannot.
I like my life.
That's great, Joe. Anything else, Mark?
That's it.
All right. What are we doing next week?
Unclear. There's not a release.
Let's do Zombievers.
We had a bunch of
sure
stuff.
there's
Clack,
not a
clack,
release?
clack, clack.
Sorry, I thought I muted.
Definitely did not.
Son of a
We had
bitch.
we had Maggie from a little while back.
Oh, let's. If there's no release, we should do Maggie. But I thought we were like straight in the theaters for like 5 weeks.
No, well, it's after this. We have another. This is a break because this week is fucking hell. I just had it up.
God damn.
This week is San Andreas and Aloha are the only two things. Then Insidious Chapter 3 is June 5th.
All right, I think we absolutely have to do Maggie because I've heard
And
interesting
then-
things.
Jurassic World is out after that, and then we might actually have another
Hashtag Dino Cycle.
There's something called The Overnight. No, that's a comedy. I don't know. I can't figure it. There's nothing the week of June 12th either. Or sorry, June 19th.
There's a lot of horror coming out this summer, though, or things that could be construed as horror, so that's cool.
Sure is.
It's exciting. info@bloodygoodhorror.com is the email address. We're also on Twitter @BGHorror with the hashtag AskBGH. Don't forget to check out our YouTube page, where right now, actually, If for some reason you want this, we're going to be posting the new podcast episodes directly to YouTube so you can stream them from there. I do this at work all the time, so I thought other people might want to. YouTube.com/BGH video for that. And Mark, check out Reddit, reddit.com/r/BGH, RBGH.
Good.
Nailed
You
it.
also just posted a new BGH Plays, which is mildly entertaining.
Yeah, the Addams Family.
I watched it.
The game's pretty good. I'm into it.
It looks terrible. You are clearly colored.
It's better than Swamp Thing. Let's say that.
All right.
Yeah, better than Swamp Thing.
Also, we had probably a dozen new reviews on the site, and we're starting to post lists again. So bloodygoodhorror.com.
Shit is kicking.
We are popping off.
Kicking shit.
Popping off.
Is that anything like popping and locking?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Wow.
This website
in
is being
peace.
turned.
Joe, did you just say rest in peace?
yeah, rerun from What's Happening.
Wow. Okay.
It's good.
I did not follow that train of logic there, but now I'm there. I've arrived at the station.
Yep.
Anything else we need to tell people about, John?
No.
Okay.
I think we're good.
YouTube.com/BGH video. And visit bloodygoodhorror.com for all those social links, peoples. Get social with us.
And
Joe likes
also
it.
reviews and lists and everything you could ever want.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Fun things.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for a review of Poltergeist. We'll talk to you next week.
Adios.
Later.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
All right.